Welcome back to the nostalgic future.
I had such a great time getting ready for this one. In this video, I'm going to show off DraStic, the DS emulator on the Z Flip 3. I'm going to do a couple of comparisons between a few of my favorite games, just so we can see the performance. And then I'm also going to show you how you can get the best visuals out of this emulator as well. And also, I've never used the game launcher, but I'm finding it kind of handy now. So, DraStic is the go-to DS emulator. It's the best one I think I've ever come across. So, first of all, let's just take a look at Mario 64, and I'm just going to run it with its normal settings, how it comes out of the box. I'm going to try to get a nice close-up view of this, and luckily, just because of the way this screen works, it really comes across camera pretty well. So I'm just going to use the raw image off the screen. Now if you take a close look at Mario's little animation down there, he's pretty seriously grainy. Especially when those little boxes wiggle. So we're going to open up the menu, and then we're going to tap on Options, and then Video. First of all, I'm just going to make 100% sure that frame skip is completely off. Then we're going to go down to Filter. I like the HQ2X filter the most, but a lot of them are very similar, other than the scanline option. So I'll select HQ2X. Then we want to enable high resolution 3D rendering, 16-bit rendering, multi-threaded 3D rendering, and I'll show you an example of how this breaks some games in just a little bit. Now, let's go back and take a close look at that intro screen for Mario 64 again. I'm going to bring it up close. Oh yeah, that is much crispier. Much crispier. Animations still tear a little bit around those boxes on the bottom, but the overall 3D models are just night and day. So now that we know we have it looking good, let's go into the options and enable the FPS counter. And then we'll let it run for a second and just make sure it's sticking around 100%, or as close to 100% as possible. It's right at the top of the list. Now we'll just back out, go right back to Mario 64, boot it up, and watch how stable it is now that we've applied all these filters. And honestly, it's as smooth as butter. It's a really good experience. I've played through 13 stars, and I haven't had one single serious glitch so far. And that's pretty good. Oh man, being able to pull off those triple jumps on a touchscreen feels so good. Okay, now that's enough Mario 64. Let's go ahead and just take a look through this list here. Oh, it's gotta be Pokemon. One of the greatest Pokemon games ever made, Heart Gold. This is another game that just sticks solid at 100%. And you know, it's really more than just the filters. It's the way that all of these things combine here. So you've got the quality filters, you've got an updated image, you have appropriately sized screens, and then you have the touch controls in a way that just makes sense. It really, I've never used anything to emulate DS before that didn't make me immediately stop playing because it immediately made me want to get a real DS. After just maybe a minute or two, you forget that you actually want to be playing on a real DS. That's the best part. So let's jump back to our list here. Oh yeah, Phantom Hourglass. You know, I remember when this game first came out, I was kind of in more of a PSP phase than a DS phase at this point, but when I saw this game for the first time, the nostalgia hit me like a ton of bricks. The Wind Waker was one of the first games that I ever owned, and I had completely forgotten about that series at this point, and when I heard those themes and saw these same cel-shaded graphics, oh, it hit me right. But as far as DraStic is concerned, this is one of those games that might randomly flip which screen is on top. So if you're going to be playing a lot of this, disable that multi-threaded 3D rendering option we enabled before. Now finally, I want to take a look at Rayman DS. Specifically because this is a game that I played on what feels like 100 different consoles before it finally had come out on DS. And also, a few years before, Rayman Advance was one of the 2 games that I got brand new with my Game Boy Advance. So that was my first not hand-me-down handheld and first not hand-me-down game. So the hype for this whenever I saw it come out was real. And as far as performance goes, I mean, it's perfect. And I haven't had any issues with this game flipping the screen up and down either. Really, The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass was the only one that it kind of did it often. But Rayman DS is a great experience again here. So we've taken a look at a few games, we've checked out the performance, we've made them all look their best that they can on this emulator. And again, I really hope they make a few little adjustments to the screen. I'd like to keep a small gap in between the two, and just to be able to resize them, but otherwise, this is great. DraStic on the Z Flip 3 is a great experience. And just like always, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, for sticking around this long. And in the next one, we're going to be taking a look at PlayStation 1. So I really hope I see you back here on
The Nostalgic Future.